everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up the Cricut. Right after you purchase it, you're going to need to set it up and you're going to do a few settings in your computer, and it's going to help you learn how to start working with your Cricut. And I know a lot of you are going to be getting some Cricuts or you haven't gotten yours out of the box. So if not, this is a great video for you because we're going to go through every step of how to set up a Cricut. Now, granted, I'm going to be using the Cricut Explorer 3, but it's all very, very similar to any of the other Cricuts and how you set them up. So let's go ahead and get started. To set up our new machine in Cricut Design Space, what we'll do is we're going to go under our Settings options, and you're going to go right here under Settings. Then all you need to do is go under Machines, and you'll see here we have a new product setup. So you're going to go ahead and click Start. Now you have two options. You have set up a cutting machine or to set up a heat press. We're going to be using a cutting machine, and we just simply click Continue. Now what's great is this really walks you through each and every step. Now we're setting up a Cricut Explorer 3, so we're going to go ahead and click Continue. Now it's going to tell us to make sure that we prepare our workspace. You want to make sure that you have some space behind your Cricut. That way your mat or your vinyl doesn't smack into a wall because that can damage your cuts. So you definitely want to make sure you've got some space behind your machine. And then here it's just telling us where to plug everything in, and I will show you all of that here in just a second. You'll want to locate the outlet on the back of your machine, and depending on which machine you have, it will look a little bit different. This here is your USB connection, and this one is for your auxiliary or your electrical. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in here, and then I'm going to plug the other portion in to my wall outlets. Once you have everything plugged in, you can turn it on, but first we will go ahead and open it. We're going to use this little button right here with the 4 dots on it to open up our machine. You'll want to make sure that you've gotten any packaging material out from inside the machine. To remove the blade to check it, you're going to go ahead and open up clamp B, and you just simply pull out the blade. Then to get a better look at your blade, you will hit this plunger on the bottom, and that'll push the blade out a bit so that you can see it a little better. I want you to make sure that you do inspect your blade before you start working with this. You want to make sure that you don't have any damage to your blade, so it's always good to check that before you get started. Then, when you're ready to reinsert the blade, go ahead and drop it down into clamp A and simply close it. Once your machine is open, your blade inspected, you can go ahead and turn your device on by clicking the little on button right here. And it's going to make a little bit of noise and move the carriage around. And it's going to do that every time that it turns on. Now we'll head back to the computer for our next steps. For this, you can connect via USB, which the plug was shown in the back, or you can just connect via Bluetooth, which is how I choose to connect. So I'm going to connect via Bluetooth, and I just click Continue. And it shouldn't take too long as it says, but it really doesn't. It's pretty quick and simple. Now for this, we do need to open our Windows setting and navigate to our Bluetooth devices. In order to do that, you go down to your toolbar and you're going to click on the little up arrow, and then you click on the Bluetooth logo. Then you can open up, you can show Bluetooth devices, add device. I'm just going to open up the settings so you can see everything. And you'll see here that we've got all of our different devices. But what we want to do is we want to click Add Device. And for this, we're going to choose a Bluetooth device. And you'll see here we have our Explorer 3 right here at the very, very top of our screen. So we're going to go ahead and connect to that device by just clicking on it. Now, connecting can take a moment or two. It also wants to make sure that your machine is close. So make sure your machine isn't super far away. Now, mine connected for a second and then decided to disconnect. If that happens, what you can do is click Done, and you can again click Add Device, go back to your Bluetooth devices, and see if you can get that one to come back up. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain, so I'm going to hit Cancel, and I'm just going to look down into all my connected devices, which I have a lot, and you'll see here, you can see your Explorer 3 is not connected. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go back and just take a look at my connection here and just see it says connection failed. That happens. It's not a big deal. So let's show you how to fix that because sometimes it can be a pain. We're going to go back to those Bluetooth settings. And what I want to do is I'm going to remove the device. Once that device is removed, I can go back up and I can go back to my connect a new device. So I can add device, go to Bluetooth, and this time it should bring up the Explorer. If it doesn't, you may just need to power cycle your device, which means turning it off and turning it back on. We're going to go ahead and try to connect again. All I did was closed out my settings and power cycled the Cricut. Sometimes it can take a time or two to get it to connect. It's just sort of touchy, just depends on the day, depends on how it's feeling. Sometimes it can only connect via USB one day, so we'll see. It looks like it's just going to keep disconnecting and reconnecting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect via the USB. It may actually be an issue with our area. We've been having some problems since we had a hurricane that went through like the North Carolina area. All of our internet's been a little bit weird since then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the USB plug and plug it in that way. We're going to connect via USB, so we'll use USB down here. Now again, this shouldn't take long, and I will try the Bluetooth at another time. Sometimes it's really just a matter of the area and if you're having internet issues. So our Explorer 3 is connected. You'll get a little happy note and some confetti, and then you just click continue. Now, you will want to make sure you have the correct email address attached to your account. Really up to you, but I do recommend just keeping all your machines on the same account. There's no need to make new accounts for different machines. You want to make sure that you read their terms of use and privacy policy. Their terms of use are not my favorite, and I don't love them, but they are what they are. Then all we have to do is click activate, and it's going to do any updating it might need. Typically it won't need one, but sometimes they do. And then all you have to do is click next. Now it's going to want us to check our machine, and when you got your machine, you were given a little piece of black smart vinyl. So we're going to do that, and we're going to click next. And it wants just to make sure that you're confirmed that your fine point blade is loaded and secured into clamp B. We already did that because that's usually the first thing I do when I open the box. I don't tend to trust Cricut when they put their things together. I've had brand new machines come with broken blades, so it's something I always check. Then it wants us to grab that material from the envelope that it came with and insert the sheet under the white guides until it reaches the gray rollers. I'll show you guys how to do that. And then all we have to do is press the flashing load, unload button. The machine will grasp, then measure the sheet. So let's head over to the machine and I'll show you that part. This is our piece of smart vinyl, and when it talks about the guides, it means these little tabs right here, and here are your gray rollers. This sensor is what measures your material. You have your carriage, and then you can see over here we have the same little guide. So when you put this in, you want to make sure that it goes under those guide edges. You see that it's under both sides. Press it to the gray rollers, and then you're going to hit the load button, which is this flashing little guy right here. Now you do want to give a little bit of pressure to your material from the back while you're loading, so I'm going to have to do this one-handed. But there we go. We've loaded it. It's measuring our material, and this is it checking the tool here, kind of getting everything ready. And now it should cut out our Cricut logo. But what we need to do is once we've loaded it, I'm going to take you back over to the buttons. You'll have a couple buttons. So the load button, this is your go button. This is what's going to tell the machine to start cutting. So I'm going to hit that. And then it should start cutting really pretty quickly. And it's going to cut out that Cricut logo. Once it's done, what you'll see is that it's going to flash your unload button. I'm going to click that button, and you're going to see that your material comes right out, no problem. And then you'll see here, I don't know how well you can see it, but do you see where it cut? We can go ahead and weed that off if we want to, and check to make sure it cut through. Now again, I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Over here on our computer, it tells us to weed it, which I did, weeded perfectly. So all we have to do from here is click continue, and it gives us some options for our first projects, whatever we might want to do. But from here, you are all set up to work with your Explorer 3 or whatever machine you set up. So you can just go into new project, and make sure you have the correct machine selected up here at the top, and you're ready to go start making fun things. If you're having trouble with your Bluetooth, just like I was, I want to show you a quick little trick that I learned to help you. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into your task manager, which is like the search bar down here, search for device manager, and you're going to click on the device manager right here and find the Bluetooth and click the little arrow down. You want to find your Bluetooth program, which for most people will be the Intel R wireless Bluetooth. Go ahead and right click on that, and you want to click update driver. Then you can just have it either browse your computer for the drivers or search automatically for drivers, whichever one. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to have it just search automatically, and it tells me that mine are already installed. However, you may need to install new drivers, and that can fix your Bluetooth problem between your Cricut and your computer. Then you can also just search for the updated drivers here, and now you can see I'm fully up to date on everything. Now, another option is if you go under your settings in your Cricut, go to machines, and you can click update firmware right here. You want to make sure you're connected via the USB cord to 3. So I'm just going to make sure to plug that back in because I did a test. And I'm just going to go ahead and click start for the firmware. And then I'm going to go right here to set up cutting machine and click continue. Then I again want to choose that Explore 3, click continue, and then we're going to go with the USB, again clicking continue. And you can see that you want to connect it via the USB, which we have done, so click continue, and then it'll go ahead and search for the Explore. This is important and it may solve some of your issues, especially if they maybe sent you like an older one. But you can see my Cricut Explore 3 is up to date. So those are just some things that you can try, and you can also try switching from the live version application to the beta to set it up via Bluetooth. Sometimes that can fix the problem. It just depends on sometimes your machine. So there are just some things that you can do to try to work with your machines and get them to go ahead and connect via Bluetooth. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. If you're running into any issues or there's like a specific project you want to learn how to make, let me know. If I don't already have a video, I will totally make one. I'm always trying to make videos for things that you guys want to learn how to do. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.